Orb and Amulet can't protect from attacks with erase effects like Stormblade or Lightning Sword, which erases shields. Stormblade erases attacks opponents have equipped, and Orb and Amulet also can't protect against attacks that erase your level, like Song of Succubus and Succubus Tempt. You can see right here, if I Lightning Sword her, her Gust is destroyed. Her Sonic, even though she has Amulet equipped, her attack is erased from Stormblade because Amulet doesn't stop attacks. And she just lost all her aura to Song of Succubus, even though she had Amulet equipped. Song of Succubus and Succubus Tempt have bad homing, but can sometimes take players by surprise when they think their orb can protect their level. It also combos nicely with the skill Restrain. If you want a way to stop attack moves from having erase effects, you can play the environmental Necronomicon. Ignore the description. Necronomicon only takes away the add effects on all attacks. Since the erase abilities on your attacks are add effects, they will not work on you. So if I try to Song of Succubus her, she doesn't lose any of her aura. But Necronomicon takes away also the positive effects on your own attacks. So if you have Reincarnation and it says, add retain, you won't be able to retain your Reincarnation even if you have 4 aura to keep it, because Necronomicon takes away that ability and becomes a single use skill. On that point, some erase users may opt to use a skill like Necronomicon because it can erase hard to erase skills like Reincarnation or Arrow of Artemis. With Necronomicon out though, erase skills can erase hard to erase moves like Reincarnation or Arrow of Artemis. If you want skills that are unerasable while Necronomicon is out, you do have 2 options: Sign of Saints and Seal of Death. If you shoot something like these 2 lock skills, which can't be taken out of your hand, if you shoot them at erase shields, the erase shield won't be able to delete them. Anyone that hits you with an erase skill, or even an attack like Stormblade, is unable to erase these 2 attacks. One other thing to know about lock skills: if your teammate dies, you can pick them up with one of the lock buttons and it will remove the skill from your hand. Another useful trick with lock moves is with Freya on the right. You might want to have more than one orb in certain arsenals. You don't have to pick up 2 different slots for it. You can just walk by and hit the same button that orb is on and get rid of it. If you like the 3 skills that are in your hand and you don't want to lose them, like the Reincarnation, Arrow of Artemis, and Turbulence, you can hit the orb button to pick up skills to also retain your other moves. Reincarnation can be very difficult to erase, because if your opponent has just 2 aura when you shoot something to erase it at it, it can still retain itself. One way you can almost guarantee it gets erased is by shooting Greedy Spirit and then Stormblade at it. Basically, if you use Greedy Spirit and another move that erases Reincarnation, that is generally your best chance of pulling off an erase on someone. You might be able to, with a teammate, you might be able to use Fairy Ring to also hit and erase them, but it's also less reliable because you never know if your opponent is just going to jump in the air and fall down and be invincible. Photon Barrier is another shield that is very hard to erase at times. Again, we can look to Greedy Spirit to help us out sometimes. Like right now, we hit Freya and then we shoot the Dragon Slayer and she actually lost her move, Photon Barrier. Now if you just do Judge of Ares, which also erases shields, you'll see that the protagonist kept his shield because he had 2 to recover it. If you have a teammate with Fairy Ring and you combine it with Judge of Ares, that is one way you can automatically stop someone from keeping a Photon Barrier. I'll demonstrate it right here, pretending these 2 characters are on the same team. Fairy Ring is done first, and then Judge of Ares, and you see that he lost his Photon Barrier thanks to Fairy Ring with Judge of Ares.